Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Jupiter's Croc here on the Outpost Unknown YouTube channel. My name is Matthew, joined once again by Ronan.
Yep, I'm here. I'm getting ready for spring. Springtime is here, so we got the new flavors and getting ready for fishing soon. Everything's going to be good, I
Have
hope.
you had the new flavor, Steve? Are you into this new flavor?
I mean, Nerd Rope is incredible, so I haven't had
No,
the new flavor. They all taste the same to me
false.
when I eat them, which is
There
glorious.
is
That's because they're
actually a
bad.
difference.
Yeah,
Yeah, my
they're bad.
my
Sound
personal
off.
favorite.
Sound off in the comments, folks. Nerd rope. Yay,
My,
yay, or nay? I say
my
nay.
personal favorite is the Halloween flavor.
What's the Halloween flavor?
It's like an orange gummy, so it has a Halloween taste to it.
Anytime you
Okay.
guys want to get started today, you
And
just
Steve.
fucking roll with it.
And Steve, how are you
Yeah,
doing
Matt,
today?
Matt was throwing up the Mistio earlier. Is he asking for mercy from the first 3 episodes of Spartacus? I don't know.
I might have a hot take on this one. After watching this, I might have a hot take. You know, I am the contrarian, apparently. But yeah,
You
Steve, how are
are.
you doing? Ploticus?
I'm good. Got a headache. Gonna be angry while we do this.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
ready to fucking get through this so I can go to sleep.
Okay.
And be one step closer to the pit.
Oh yeah. Well, that is true. We are talking, Spartacus, Blood and Sand. You know, we are fresh off our House of Asher watch. And then we were like, hey, we got listeners and people care about what we say about Spartacus, so why not just rewatch the entire
No one
original
cares
show?
about what we say about Spartacus.
It's
Some
also
people
good.
do.
It's also good to clear the palate after
Yeah.
House of Asher. Like
Mike
clear the palate.
Lowry, Steve, our loyal fan, he cares. So how dare you? How dare you, good sir? So yeah, we are going to be talking about episode 2 of Blood and Sand. This is Sacramentum Gladiatorum. And I remember when we watched this back in the day, whenever we did this a couple years ago. Again, the first 3 episodes, and we said this on the last episode, the first 3 episodes, but it's an all-time show for us, so it's gonna get good. But we have to struggle through these first 3 episodes. Episode 1, I think we all agreed, is kind of bad. It's just kind of a shitty episode. It sets up things a little bit, but overall, it's just kind of a bad episode. Episode 2, I went into this thinking, okay, this is gonna be another bad episode, but I might have a different take. After watching this, we shall see. Steve, how are you feeling going into episode 2?
It's fine. I've said this before in our first walkthrough or rewatch of this. When I watch the show on my own, I just start on the pit. And so when I basically only watch episodes 1, 2, and 3 when we have something to discuss on the channel. So I was kind of like, I just wanted to kind of get it over with. I know I know that that there's gold at the end of this, so I just want to power through. Once again, Ronan said, "Hey, let's just watch the first 3 bad ones at once," and Matt said, "No, we have to suffer for the content."
I couldn't, and we need that watch time, Steve. We need those watch hours. So there we go.
The episode would have been 3 times as long. We would have gotten the watch hours.
Yeah. Instead of an hour episode, we might have gotten an hour and a half out of cramming in all 3.
Well, Ronan, how you feeling going into episode 2?
How am I feeling going into it, or how am I feeling after watching it?
Going in. We haven't talked about it yet. Going into it, were you dreading watching this, or were you like, okay, I'm gonna dig it? How
Well, even the bad episodes of the first season of Spartacus aren't painful. They're just not nearly as great as what comes after. So, it wasn't like I had to watch like a fat old man on like a bantha thing doing this. I didn't have to watch that.
You see, I didn't even bring up Star Wars, Steve. It's always Ronan that
I
throws
mean,
the first Star Wars.
It lives rent free in Ronan's head at this point.
It does.
Or he's doing a bit, and he knows that it gets to you.
But it doesn't get to me because I don't find
Ronan, it
bad.
gets to him, right?
If it didn't get to him, he wouldn't bring it up.
I love Boba Fett, and episode 2 of the show was fucking great.
Oh my God, can we fucking move on?
Yes, Ploticus.
Jesus
Ploticus.
Christ.
Take us through Sacramentum Gladiatorum, please.
So Spartacus wakes up in chains, but that's okay because his hot wife gets on top of him and they start fucking. And
Right
then
away.
a demonic blood monster explodes out of the back of her head. And it turns out it was all a dream. So Spartacus wakes up, he's in chains. We see Batiatus and Lucretia, and Lucretia throughout this episode is like, you paid way too much for this motherfucker. We should Lucretia, smartest character in the show, is like, Batiatus, you should not have bought Spartacus. Like this is going
Yeah.
to turn out poorly for us. But Batiatus is like, get rid of that fucking hair and then get him out onto the sands so that we can start his gladiator training. Uh, Batiatus and Lucretia, they discussed there's a drought. That's an ongoing storyline for the first half of the
Mm.
season. There is a terrible drought. And, we'll see in a few episodes if somebody brings the rain and gets a clever nickname because of it. Uh, but they're out. They're out of funds. It's a drought, and they got no money. And Lucretia tells Batiatus, it's like, with the money that you spent on Spartacus, we could have filled our pool for a month. And Batiatus is like, it's babe, it's gonna be totally fine because I got this message here from Glaber, known throughout Rome as being a super good guy, treats everyone well. He's definitely coming here to thank me for buying Spartacus, so that Spartacus will eventually die, and then he'll give us patronage, and our money problems will be a thing of the past. It'll be fine, and then
Already scheming. He's
Yeah.
scheming.
already scheming, and to further demonstrate the money problems. I don't remember if it's right after this or sometime later, but another guy named Ovidius shows up and he's like, "Yeah, you owe us for three
Oh
months
yeah.
of grain."
Yeah, yeah.
And you owe us for 3 months of grain. And Batiatus is like, how about the Vulcanaria or whatever, the next game
No,
will
it's
come here
right. You got it
soon.
right. The Battle of the Vulcanaria.
Uh, After this next round of games, I'll have so much money, and I got you. Don't you worry about it. And the guy says, okay, 3 months of grain, the cost of that plus 30% interest, and Batiatus has no choice but to
I
agree to
love
it.
I love that shot after the guy leaves and it's just that long shot of Batiatus and he just drops the parchment. Like he's just like, oh my gosh. Also, I don't remember if this was mentioned in the like audio commentary tracks that we watched back in the day. But how does Batiatus actually make money from the gladiator contests in the arena?
Don't the
Like,
people
is it
that
just betting and he makes money off? Oh, people bet
well,
on my
don't
gladiators.
No,
don't the
the-
people running the games pay him for the use of his gladiators?
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
The more famous your gladiators are, the more you get to charge for them being in your game. The more that they're wanted, the more you're wanted for having badass gladiators. The more you can charge for said services. That's always seemed to be the way that it's gone down in the show.
Okay, I guess
Steve,
I
do you
I,
was.
I
agree?
assume I
Yeah.
assume they're like the people running the games basically rent the gladiators from the Linistas, and if they survive, they get to live to be rented out again in the future.
Yeah.
Very important thing that
I'm
we
gonna
need to talk
Google
about.
this, by the way.
Very important thing. Lucy Lawless is naked, and of course that's
Whew,
I mean
That's
that's
always
why
a
we're all
plus.
here. Lady is
whew,
a smoke show, but
goddess,
they are yeah, absolute goddess.
warrior princess.
They're talking about they're continuing to talk about their money problems, and Glaber showing up, and the slaves are disrobing both of them, and Batiatus gets naked, and Xena just motions for one of the slave girls to go below Batiatus. And then Xena herself is getting finger blasted by another slave, and then she
I
and
think it's
Batiatus end up
Navia.
fucking. Is it Navia?
I'm pretty sure it's
I feel
Navia
like
who is.
Yeah,
Navia does. Is it? Okay, all right.
I think
At
so.
this
I
point in the show, she's not like a thing,
Yeah,
but
and
she is.
it's
She is
when
behind. Like she is always there.
when
Yeah,
I
she's
think
our
of
body
Navia,
slave or
I
whatever.
think of season two Navia. So like this character, this actress doesn't register to me as Navia yet.
You
Yeah.
guys are correct, by the way. I'm just throwing this out there. Ludus owners operated a highly profitable, often stigmatized business in ancient Rome, generating income primarily by training gladiators and renting them out for public games. Because gladiators were considered property, the owner collected all earnings, prize money, and fees generated by their fighters, even in the event of a gladiator's death. So there you go.
Yeah, this is also why historically gladiators didn't. It was actually not super common for them to fight to the death because like there was so much money riding on them. They
Yeah.
typically just gave the messio.
I'm reading this
And
here. Yeah.
yeah, and but they like usually it was kind of announced. Oh, this is a game, a fight to the death. And like in or those circumstances, like if the gladiator performed really badly and everyone's like, "Boo, fuck you," then they'd probably kill him.
Yeah, it says if a gladiator was killed in combat, the sponsor holding the games was required to pay the lanista a high pre-agreed fee, often 50 times the rental price, to cover the loss of the investment.
I didn't know that Matt didn't know how Lanistas were paid. I thought that was
I did not
obvious
know.
from the show.
No,
Uh,
I did not. Where in the show did it say that? Did
like
anybody ever mention that?
I think you can use your context clues and
Yeah,
recognize that Batiatus routinely says that his
You know what?
money
I'm
comes
using my
from.
context clues right now. I don't think I like you. Continue.
That's fine. I don't fucking care. I don't have to be here right now. All right. So we talked about Batiatus. We talked about Naked Xena.
Whew.
Spartacus has been taken out to the sands for the first time. No, before this.
yeah. Don't forget
After they
their scene in the bath.
fucking. Do you want to run the plot? No, I'm doing
I'm
this.
I'm reminding you.
Before they go out to the sands,
Goddamn context clues.
Spartacus gets thrown into what is there like a just some communal like slave cage, I guess, that the gladiators hang out in and wash themselves with tiny little cups of water and have
Yeah.
slave women like shave them with grease.
Yeah, yeah, it's like
Come
oil. So yeah, it's oil. Like in the Romans didn't like body hair or the facial beard. So yeah, they would always get lathered up with oil and then they get
olive
like
oil,
shaved
buddy.
down.
Yeah, all right.
You
Well, they
didn't
were getting
understand that
shaved.
from the context clues,
I didn't.
Steve?
I didn't.
Yes, Steve.
I mean, I understand it was a shaving. I didn't know it just looked like they were just getting slathered in grease to me. I didn't know that was olive oil because no one says olive oil. There was
When
no
we,
context
yeah,
cues about olive oil,
context. I mean, yeah, Italy,
unlike how
oil.
Lanistas were paid. Anyway, Spartacus gets thrown in here, and immediately Crixus and Barca, like the gladiators with names at this point, start shitting on Spartacus, and they Crixus says that Thracians smell like shit, and Thracian women smell like piss and shit. And then Spartacus says to Crixus, like, you smell like a woman. And Crixus gets this very serious, like crazy look in his eyes.
How
Like
dare
that's the
you?
worst thing that you can say to Crixus is that he smells like a woman. But Crixus, he hangs back and he says, eat, rest, get your strength up, and then I'm gonna fucking kill you as soon as I get the chance. Because Crixus, he wants
I
that
have
fair
to
fight.
interject here because we also promised in one of the past episodes that we would address this issue. So I think
Oh,
this
there's
is a
dick
fine.
everywhere.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
this is a fine time to talk about the penises because Manu Bennett is just like completely bare ass naked, just walking around
and
cock flailing.
that is not a fake cock.
That is like apparently I saw a Reddit post where that was like a screenshot of a Stephen the Knight. This is from the House of Asher because everyone had these prop cocks, so everyone's was hung down to literally their knee or thereabout, and people were complaining about all the fake penises. And so Stephen the Knight was like, in the history of this show, there has only been one actor, male actor, who has gone full frontal with no prosthetic added to him. That man's name is Manu Bennett.
And as
Crixus, my boy.
as Lucy Lawless said in an audio commentary that we discussed our last watch through, that is a damn handsome man. Crixus deserves to walk around with that thing
Yeah,
flying free.
It was in the
good for him.
commentary for
Good
this
for him.
episode because apparently it was freezing cold when they were filming this. And, as all men know, when it's cold outside, a little thing called shrinky dink occurs where your dick wants to
Shrinkage.
retract deep inside of your body to stay warm. So
Turtlehead.
Manu Bennett was talking about in the commentary before filming this scene, just having like a bag of hot water over his dick to keep it like a reasonable size.
Good for that guy. One thing I will say about this show is like there's beautiful naked women all over this show, but good for Manu Bennett to go out there and be like, look, if the ladies have to do it, I'm going to do it as well. Good for him. Tip my cap.
So now we've talked about the penises. So I hope that just to let you listeners know, if you ask us to talk about specific anatomy, we'll address it at some
Within
point.
reason. Within
Yes,
reason.
within reason, sure.
Terms and conditions apply to what Ronan just said.
Just
All
sure,
right,
sure.
so
This is fine.
Spartacus, by the way, is just he doesn't understand sarcasm because Crixus is like, "Can I get you water or food? Perhaps some scented oils for your feet." And Spartacus is like, "Yeah, I'd like some
Yeah.
water."
Hell yeah. Give me some scented oils for my feet, bro.
And Crixus is like, "Well, this is a simple fuck we got right here." Fantastic. All right, so after this, we finally get out to the sands, and it's Spartacus, the Vero, and just a bunch of red shirts, essentially.
Yeah, the only other guy who's recognizable is Fugitavis. Let's
Yeah, and
see.
I've already
Was his like,
forgot his name.
was that like Curza or something?
Curza,
Like,
yes.
Curza? Yeah.
There's a guy named Marcus that has a funny scene with Barca later on in the episode.
Yeah.
So they get out there and they do the "what is beneath your feet," and Curza eventually just goes sand,
Sand.
and then Crixus does the sacred ground doctore, watered with tears and blood, and doctore, who we don't know yet, is Onomaus. He kind of walks down the line of new gladiators and tells them they all fucking suck except you, Spartacus. Spartacus,
But slightly less.
you went up against 4 gladiators in the arena. Everyone, look at this man, study him, and know that he's fucking lame and no one cares about him, and he's not going to amount to anything.
He's definitely not going to be the face of the show for another 3 seasons.
Yes.
It's not going to be him.
Well, Onomaus is basically like, yeah, he fought good Salonius's bullshit gladiator.
Yeah,
Here
yeah.
your
Like,
stock, little
He fought
bitch ass gladiators.
the House
Yeah.
of Asher copy paste gladiators.
yeah, House of Asher gladiators. Nothing, man. That's
It is
easy.
an important thing to note that, like this show, we have already the first time we've been introduced to the main cast of gladiators, and we already can easily identify before this episode is over with. We've got at least 4 of them down pat, where you know their names and you already have a good idea about their characters,
Yeah.
and they don't fucking suck.
I was going to ask you guys, because I was thinking about this when I was rewatching this episode. Who wins in a fight, Onomaus or Chorus?
I'm
So going
assuming,
Onomaus.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Onomaus. Yeah.
Okay, that's where I was going.
Because he was the only one until like Spartacus and Crixus who survived Theocles. No one else could have.
That's true, but Chorus did win his freedom in the arena. I mean, that's got to count for something.
I mean, Onomaus also ended up winning his freedom.
Not in the arena.
No. Onomaus was never he was going to at the end of the show. This will come later, but no. Technically, yeah, he's never, unless you're talking about being dead. But just he's not a free man. He's still like yeah.
He gets
Context
freed.
clues, Steve. Are you talking about him dying later on?
Freed. I'm just saying, like
He
Onomaus.
did not get freed.
He does get freed. Batiatus frees him because he's going to give him the ludus.
He-
Onomaus doesn't like.
He's not able to
on
do
that.
it. This is spoilers for the last episode. But yeah, he's never able to do it.
Leave a comment down below, folks. Onomaus versus Chorus. Who wins?
Onomaus wins. All right. So at this point, Spartacus is just giving everyone the side eye, not cooperating with anything, and
I'm side eyeing. I'm just for context clues. And so.
Good work,
Thank
Matt.
you.
Continue.
So he's being a dick, and at one point Onomaus is like, just send him to the fucking mines. I can't do anything with this one. He's not going to listen to me. But eventually Onomaus is like, how about Spartacus thinks he's hot shit. Hey, Crixus, why don't you put him in his place? And so they get practice swords. The RPM Red Ranger is like the sword gatherer and hands out wooden swords. And so then Spartacus won't pick up the sword. And so Onomaus is like, all right, well, I guess he's a chicken shit. He needs an advantage. RPM Red Ranger, give him a real sword, Gladius. And so the Ranger hands it to Onomaus, and he throws the metal sword. Hello, whoever's back there.
Alyssa. She says,
hi, Alyssa. They throw. Onomaus throws the metal sword at Spartacus's feet, and Spartacus still won't do it. And Onomaus turns around to chastise and Spartacus.
This is when he says like, I can't do anything. Fuck
yeah,
this guy.
I can do nothing with this one. Send him to the mines.
when does he do the whip and the Spartacus like catches it?
That's
pretty
the wooden
badass.
sword. Yeah.
I think that was before all of this because he's like, that is not my name, and they're like, your name means little and shit and piss and all that shit. Yeah.
Anyways, uh, Spartacus picks up the metal sword and tries to attack Oenomaus, and Crixus charges in, and they start a fight, and Crixus is dominating Spartacus. Crixus, of course, is the undefeated Gaul if you don't pay attention to all of his defeats, and he wins this match. Every time he does something, he knocks Spartacus on the ground, and Spartacus has to like slowly get up, and Oenomaus is like, "Show your back to an opponent dead."
Death.
Spartacus throws
Become
his
entangled with a more powerful opponent, and you are
dead.
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 Spartacus throws his sword at Crixus. Again, that's Spartacus's thing. That's his special move. He throws things. He throws his sword, and Crixus deflects it, and it cuts this dude's throat and just kills him dead. And everyone starts laughing. And Oenomaus is like, throw your weapon at an opponent in the arena, dead. And so
I love
Crixus,
Oenomaus.
yeah, Oenomaus is fantastic. Crixus beats the shit out of Spartacus, gets him down, and Crixus has got it's a wooden sword, but he's still got the sword to Spartacus's throat. And then they talk about the missio. You hold up 2 fingers, and that's the request for mercy from the editor of the games. And Oenomaus says, beg for your life, little rabbit. And Spartacus clenches his fist. He will not beg for mercy. And so Oenomaus says,
All
fuck
right,
it,
bash the skull
bash
in.
his skull in.
Bash his skull in.
And Crixus is about to, but Batiatus says, no, don't do it.
It
And
cost me a lot of money.
and Lucretia, smartest character in the show, it's like, why are you saving him again? Just let him fucking die. He is useless. And Batiatus says, no. Glaber is coming tomorrow. Glaber might want to just torture this motherfucker. We got to keep Spartacus alive for when Glaber gets here. What else happens down in the fighting pits? Spartacus becomes best buds with Vero.
Oh,
Vero, my favorite character, for the scenes, for the episodes that he is in.
this is the only thing that Jai Courtney's ever been in that's been any good.
It's absolutely
I
correct.
think
That is a
so.
factual statement.
I think so. I enjoyed him as Captain Boomerang for the very limited amount of time he was, but
But the best Captain Boomerang, of course, is Nick Terabay, who is Captain
Yes.
Boomerang in the Arrowverse.
Well, what's Vero's story, Steve? Why is Vero?
Vero, this is a story that doesn't necessarily make any sense to me with how it turns out. But Vero, he's a Roman man. He's got a wife and child. He is in crushing, crippling debt. He took out student loans, and things are just not working out for him. And so he sold himself into slavery. He says, 2 years in the arena, and I will have enough. I will have made enough money to get myself out of the situation, and pay off my debt, and then my whatever my slave contract is up, and then I just go back and I live my life easy peasy. Don't
He's
even
got a
worry about it.
kid, a wife, and child.
Yeah, it's
Child
gonna
is
be
his.
fine.
For sure
I
his.
don't know what Matt's doing.
Context clues, Steve.
Is there some
Keep
confusion
going!
about Vero's kid not being Vero's kid?
Yeah, but he doesn't have a kid when he goes into it's like that happens later, and that's why he's so
But,
pissed off.
he has a
later.
kid.
He has a kid.
Yeah.
He says in this episode, "My wife
Yeah.
and my
Now
kid."
there's another kid that shows up that's not his, and that's what I thought Matt was referring to, but that kid doesn't exist yet. I don't feel like either of you motherfuckers actually watched and paid attention to this episode.
I watched it.
But did you?
I'm just
attention?
searching for
I don't think you
context
did.
clues now.
I watched the episode.
Spartacus and Vero become buddies. There's one point I might be jumping ahead, but all the gladiator stuff, it kind of runs together after a while. Asher shows up, and
Yay!
yay, hero Asher, noted feminist Asher shows up. And Asher at this time is his. We haven't seen the prequel yet, so this is your first time watching. We don't know what happened to his leg, but his leg is messed
Or
up.
his face and his arm.
He's got the ancient Roman equivalent of a walking boot, so that he can like limp around. But he kind of tries to not befriend Spartacus, but he
Bring
wants
him bread.
Spartacus to
Yeah.
be healthy. And so what we find out
Traces.
is Asher is a man who knows how to get things. And as a side business, he takes bets, and there's apparently a sizable bet on from Crixus that Spartacus is just gonna die either in the arena, or maybe Spartacus won't even like pass the test of the Brotherhood. He's gonna fucking die. And so Asher's like, and I don't want him to win, so I want you to, be healthy. So take this bread, because previously Barca had knocked over the bucket of gruel that they were all eating from. uh, and Asher's like,
Mark
well,
was
at
hilarious.
least he didn't piss in it. The
It
taste
leaves a
burns the
bitter
throat.
aftertaste.
So Spartacus goes and splits the bread with Vero, and they're going to be buddies. There's other scenes where maybe it happens before this, where they're all the slaves are chilling in like the new slave cage, and one character is like, oh, I'm gonna earn my freedom in the arena, it's gonna be great. And then someone asks Spartacus, it's like, you're the only one of us that have actually been in the arena, what do you think of our chances? And Spartacus is like, you're all gonna fucking die.
You're all gonna die.
They're all red shirts.
And then Oenomaus shows up. Oenomaus had previously been chastised by Batiatus, because Batiatus was like, "Look, you're my fucking doctore. You are supposed to mold them into something." And Oenomaus is like, "These guys fucking suck.
You bought some shit stock. You bought Asher stock.
You bought some House of Asher slaves. I can't do anything with these douchebags." And Batiatus is like, "It's your fucking job to turn them into something. So turn them into something." And so in the middle of the night, Oenomaus like just goes and grabs them and makes them walk around in a circle, carrying a giant like piece of wood over their shoulders, and he fucking whips them if they start to stumble. Is there anything else we need to talk about before Glaber shows up? 'Cause I think that the episode, the tone of the episode completely changes once Glaber enters the picture. Anything pre-Glaber?
I think you got all the basics.
Well, Oenomaus shows, or is it later when Oenomaus is like, "Oh no, that's later. Never mind. I'm jumping ahead. Go ahead." I'm talking about the thigh.
Yeah,
thing.
no, that's
later.
That's post Glaber.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
So, how about you pay attention, Matt?
Context clues. It happens later. Got it.
So Batiatus and Xena are like, we have to prepare a feast. Glaber's going to be here. He's going to be so fucking thankful that I took Spartacus over his hands. We're going to get patronage. It's going to be fucking great. And then so in come Glaber and Alithia, and Spartacus is immediately yet praise her. Spartacus is dragged away, and so after splitting his Asher bread with Vero, so Spartacus is dragged away, and there's so many scenes in here that I love and laugh at. Xena is hanging out with Alithia, and Xena's like, "Oh, we've prepared a feast." They bring out all this food, and Alithia's like, "Oh no, you shouldn't have." And you think, "Oh, she's being humble, a gracious guest." She's like, "No, you shouldn't have. All of this peasant food upsets my stomach." So fucking good.
I love when she's like, "Wine? Oh, is it Cesterian, whatever?" No, water then. Just give me water. I'd rather drink water than your shitty ass wine.
Alithia is so good in this. And so Glaber then goes and wants to see Spartacus. So Spartacus is chained to the wall, and in comes Glaber. And Spartacus is immediately like, "Where's my wife? Just fucking kill me. Take your vengeance on me, but don't hurt my wife. She hasn't done anything." And Glaber's like, "Oh, I know. She hasn't done anything to me, but you have, and I'm gonna fuck with you by fucking with her." So he pulls out
sold her to a Syrian
for half a coin. He pulls out the little purple band, the Sura was supposed to keep tied around her thigh, and Glaber says, "This still has her scent on it. I pulled it off of her
to preserve
it before my men stained her with their scent." And Spartacus immediately yells,
which is a YouTube-friendly way of saying,
"Yes, we don't need any further follow-up on that, Ronan."
I said stuff.
Spartacus is just
Context
howling
clues.
mad. He's just fucking angry. He's yelling, he's crying, and Glaber drops
Andy
the little.
Whitfield's great in this scene, by the
He
way.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
Glaber tosses the purple ribbon on the ground, and Spartacus grabs it and cuddles it. Meanwhile, Alithia and Xena are watching the gladiators train, and they're starting to bond, and they talk about, oh yeah, we're bad wives that don't always listen to our husbands, and Jupiter is going to strike us down with a lightning bolt. Ha ha ha.
Lithia's getting a little hot and bothered for them gladiators.
She is, and she will
And
continue to
Lucy
be hot and
Lawless
bothered by
too.
them.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and Lucy
there's
Lawless.
we we.
There's a moment.
That's what I'm fucking trying to talk about.
I'm
Damn
gonna
it!
pass it to you. God damn it!
The first signal between Crixus and Lucy Lawless. It's like they share like a lingering look while the gladiators are training. We'll find. I don't know if it's next episode or the one after that. We'll find out where that goes. Gee,
Oh, it's going in.
you guys
That
always
wasn't even
make me do the
that wasn't
plot
even
and then
the
you
moment
fucking
I was going to
oh,
bring up. That wasn't even the moment I was going to bring up.
shh.
How's that headache doing, buddy?
Oh, it fucking sucks. I'm ready for this to end. It goddamn hurts.
Oh my god.
God damn it.
Jesus, I'm crying. I'm crying.
Anyways, so now Glaber is left. And Glaber is like, yeah, we're leaving. As he's walking out, and Batiatus is like, oh yeah, I hope you had a good time with Spartacus. We prepared a feast for you. And Glaber's like, no, we're fucking leaving. I'm leaving for Rome. He's like, well, now, like, we got a fucking feast. Hang out with us. Let's talk
Spent the
patronage.
last of my coins.
And so Alithia, Glaber also shows up. It's like, Alithia, come on, we're fucking leaving. And Xena like looks at Batiatus, and Batiatus just shakes his head. Like his plan did not work. And so Glaber and Alithia leave. And so now, what the fuck is Batiatus going to do with Spartacus? So we'll
With
come
all
back
that
to that in a minute.
food,
Because
too. Like,
yeah, with all of the peasant food that upsets Alithia's stomach. So
only the best for Olivia.
Spartacus gets thrown back out into the training pit, and he's paired with Curza, and Curza is beating him because Curza has got now has additional training that Spartacus
He's
doesn't
learned
have.
2 brand new forms.
Yes,
Form 1 and
Form
2.
1, Form 2, and that's all you need sometimes. And so Curza's beating him. But at one point, Spartacus just says, fuck this noise, and just tackles Curza and starts just beating the shit out of him.
Good God, King!
And so Onomaus like takes the whip and swings it at Spartacus, wraps it around his neck, yanks him back, and then in come like Batiatus's like Roman guards to just start clubbing Spartacus. And so as this is happening, Spartacus has dropped the purple ribbon and he's trying to crawl for it while he's being beaten, and he doesn't get there. But Onomaus picks it up, and so later on, when Batiatus is trying to figure out what the fuck do I do now, like I paid so much money for Spartacus, and but it didn't work out. Glaber doesn't care anymore. Glaber's not going to get any patronage. So if I can't make my money back from Glaber, I'm going to make it back from Spartacus. So we need to train this motherfucker to be the world's greatest gladiator. But how exactly do we do that? What is it that Spartacus wants that I can kind of hold over his head to make him, work? And Onomaus is like, well, I got this shitty purple ribbon that is going to make him be fucking stupid when it's time to fight later on. Maybe that'll help. And Batiatus is like, fine, I got it. I know what's going on. Bring Spartacus in.
I mean, he
So
sniffs it first. That was kind of
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, still has a scent on it.
Oh,
inner
yeah.
thigh. Inner thigh. Mid-20s.
Mid-20s.
Ronan's got the punch.
I just picture Ronan like sniffing things. Late 40s. Just like,
Give me that bra. 37 B cup.
Yes, written on the tag.
That's Ronan's superpower. He can identify the age of women by thigh ribbon. So
It's not often needed, but
mutant
comes in
power.
handy. That's a
shittiest X
shitty mutant
gene.
power.
So all right, so Batiatus has a meeting with Spartacus, and they uh Batiatus is like, what is it you want? Do you want money? No, no, no. You want love. Do you have a woman? And Spartacus says, I have a wife. She was taken from me. And so they cut a deal, and they basically say, well, Batiatus says, how many men would you kill to get her back? 100, 1,000? And Spartacus says, I'll kill them all. And Batiatus is like, fine, fucking do it in the arena. You commit to being my gladiator. You pass the trial. You you call me Dominus. You take the brand, and then you win in the arena. And I will commit funds to returning your wife to you. And so Spartacus, he hasn't really. I guess he agrees to it, but the actual test about is this actually going to work hasn't occurred yet. And so now we cut to the trial, and so there's this. They have a scaffold match, and so they two gladiators climb up on the scaffold, and if the new gladiator survives, they get to be a gladiator. They get the mark of the Brotherhood. So first, it's Vero versus I think Gnaeus, and they fight to a draw. And so Vero and Batiatus. At one point, Vero's got the shield up, and Gnaeus is got the sword on it. Gnaeus is in control, but Batiatus says, "Pause. Vero has fought to a draw. He gets the mark of the Brotherhood." And then we get Barca versus Marcus, and they crawl up on the scaffold, and Batiatus says, "Begin," and Marcus just goes, "Rah!" and runs with the sword out, and Barca in like one motion, he blocks the the sword swing, and then circles around with the sword again, and just cuts the back of I guess like cuts Marcus across the back of the. It's like he does a circle, and that's all it takes to
A
beat
slight
Marcus.
sidestep, two circles, slight sidestep, boom, falls to the ground.
I love how Lucy
And
Lawless
then
is just
Marcus
says
is
there,
dead.
and her face is like, oh great, that was sure worth it.
Yeah, that was disappointing. And
But this bad body honest is like, not every venture ends in climax. I thought that I was like, that's what Lucy also was like, yeah, something every woman is well aware of.
so I love that the Barca makes this one move and kills this guy, and all of the gladiators just break out laughing at how comical fucking Marcus's attack was. Thank you for coming to the show, Marcus. It was fun. So now it's time for Spartacus, and of course his final challenge is going to be Crixus. And so
Because of course.
they climb up onto the scaffold, and Crixus gets his sword. He's ready to go, and he's told to begin. And Spartacus just stands there, and then Crixus is like, "We gonna do this or not?" And Spartacus stands there, and then Spartacus looks longingly at the ribbon, and then he like wraps it around his hand. Empires are rising and falling in the time that fucking Spartacus is standing here, and Crixus will not just fucking go in for the kill. Crixus is just standing there as Spartacus stands there. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the jokes in the Power Rangers community about how when the Power Rangers go to morph, there's like this minute long sequence of they power up, they get their suits on, and presumably the monster is just standing there watching this going on, not pressing the attack. Or when the monster grows giant and the Zords have to combine, there's a minute long sequence of the Zords, coming together to form the Megazord, and the monster's just standing there letting all of this happen in front of
Well,
him.
I wonder if there's like a sort of a fighterly respect here.
There
It's
was
like,
no
They're
okay,
fighter. There
monsters.
was no
I'm not gonna
respect.
I'm not gonna just go fucking kill you before you're ready to actually fight. And even earlier on in this episode, Crixus was like, "Heal up, buddy. I want you on your best before I take you down." So I don't think Crixus is the kind of character to just walk up and stab
He
Spartacus and
should have.
think that
He
was like
should have.
that was glorious. I
Crixus,
think he wants to fight him and show him he can beat.
Crixus could have walked up and just stabbed Spartacus directly in the neck, and all of the other gladiators would have laughed because
They would have
Spartacus does not have anyone's respect at this point. This fight drives me fucking nuts when I watch this episode. But
Oh, geez, okay.
eventually, Spartacus starts crying, and he's got tears in his eye, and Crixus mocks the tears. And so then they start fighting, and Crixus is just instantly dominating Spartacus. Spartacus is no challenge for Crixus whatsoever, and so Spartacus has his sword knocked away. Spartacus is knocked on the not on the ground, but he's down on his back on the scaffold. And Crixus has the sword to his throat again. And he looks back at Batiatus, and Batiatus is like, "Fucking kill him!" Like, I mean, we fucking tried. Spartacus fucking sucks. So Batiatus nods, and Crixus is about to kill
Oh, the
Spartacus.
happy face, the happy
He's
face.
so happy he's about to kill Spartacus, and Spartacus looks over and he notices that Crixus is standing on the little purple ribbon,
The
and so
thin,
Spartacus
lacy ribbon that is not nearly strong enough to flip a grown ass
Spartacus
man.
Spartacus grabs the ribbon and rips it out from under Crixus's foot with such force that Crixus is propelled into orbit and then comes crashing down onto the ground next to him.
This is like playing Street Fighter EXO or something where one of the fighter's moves takes you into orbit and then drops you onto the ground. That's essentially what happened here.
Yeah,
This is pretty stupid. Like,
this is
this is
incredibly
really
stupid.
stupid. Yeah.
But and this fall from orbit, obviously, when you fall from that high, you're going to be a little woozy, and so Crixus is like on the
Concussed.
ground, clearly like dazed, and so Spartacus jumps down, and he's about to finish off Crixus, and Batiatus says, "Stop, Spartacus! You passed the test."
That's my bread and butter you're fucking with.
Yeah, and that's Lucy Lawless's bread and butter too. So don't fucking touch him. And so Batiatus stops Spartacus from killing Crixus. He says, "You passed the test." And Spartacus looks up and he says, "Dominus." And he gets the brand, and he cites the oath. And now Spartacus is a member of the Brotherhood. Is there anything important that I missed in this episode?
Nothing important that you missed. Just something that, like, want to take it. I almost want to take a tangent back into Power Rangers, but
We can do that. Yeah, let's talk about Power Rangers.
so there was one moment, because there was one time in Power Rangers where when they transformed, the bad guys disappeared. That's in the fucking Power Ranger movie when they're in the pit. They all transform.
With Ivan Ooze's ooze monsters just fucking abandoned ship when the Power Rangers
The
won.
Power Rangers are going through their epic 15-minute transformation thing, and the Marsh's like, should we just go? We should probably just go.
Yeah. And Crixus would just stand there and wait for them to get done morphing, apparently. Discuss.
Lucy Lawless looks pretty disturbed when Crixus falls off that thing. She jumps up, and we'll find out later on. Obviously,
They're fucking.
Is that a context clue,
spoiler.
Matt?
I was trying to do context clue for the listeners. Steve just straight out spoiled it, which is fine. I'm going to be a little before. I'm probably going to be the one that's the contrarian here in a good way. But we'll start with you, Ronan. Your thoughts overall on this episode?
This episode, it's not as awkward as the first episode. It does have, you can still see that they're working some shit out in this episode, because this has those. In all actuality, I do kind of like some of these scene transitions that happen, because, like, the camera kind of pans up from from the gladiator training pit, sweeps up over the ludus and goes down into, like, the dried up pool area, and you get a panning shot too as they're walking through it, and you see an area with like chickens and bullshit like moving like that. Like, you never see a camera shot like that again in the show. Like, I don't think in any of the seasons. So that's the one
Not
time.
again?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Like, not there. If you guys can think of a moment where you had like a weird shot where the camera pans up, goes over a CGI house, moves into the circle area, and then keeps moving as they walk through the house, feel free to interject. But that's the only moment I can think of where they try to do some kind of like long one shot sort of thing, which is clearly not one, but it's just to know, like, okay, this was a neat transit, like this was a neat
Very
camera.
stylistically well done.
God,
I'm gonna counter that with the weird transition. I don't remember when this happens, but at one point Spartacus is just standing there staring angrily, and there's just like a beam of light around his eyes, and the rest of his face is in shadow, and then the background turns purple.
Yeah, weird shit like that. Yeah.
It's a choice.
Which again, these are first few episodes sort of thing. So like, things are gonna, like, they haven't quite found the formula that works yet. So like, you had like at least the bad, like the bad CGI, the bad fight, like the effects not being properly integrated in. At least that's all gone because there's no opportunity for it in like what in the episodes in the, not in the sequences that are in this episode. So it's not as like awkwardly bad as the first episode, but this one more just kind of suffers from it's like a setup episode. Like, it's episode two, and we're already in we're going to set up a whole bunch of stuff. But it also does succeed. As I mentioned earlier, it's like within one moment, we've been introduced to all the gladiators, and we know the names and faces of at least three of them. And we instantly remember them once they come back through in the episode. We didn't have to create a nickname for Asher. We didn't have to create a nickname for Barca. There like we didn't because like Barca is Barca. Yeah, like he's got his character and everything. So we didn't have to invent a name for him. So we knew who the fuck we were talking about
Yeah.
because the show did the work for us. And so even though this is not a bad episode, but it's also just kind of like it's important because like, oh well, we're introduced to Varro, everybody gets the mark, but it's also somehow not interesting. It's weird. It's weird
Hmm.
in that.
When did I'm trying to remember which episode did Achillea get the mark of the Brotherhood? Was that super early on? Because I actually had forgotten that Spartacus got the mark so early, like in episode two.
Yeah, I
I've
could
already
have swore it was
forgotten when
three,
Achille
but
got the mark.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
I
don't
don't
remember the
remember
age.
It
when.
had it had to have been early. I was gonna ask, did she get it before her first arena fight? And I have no idea. I've already forgotten that
I
character.
remember us talking about like how it seemed like she basically got it without kind of earning it, the same way Asher kind of got.
Yeah, that she was
Yeah,
fighting. Like she had a fight with Chorus, and
it
yeah, it
was
was
one of those
one.
things where it didn't feel like
Yeah, that's
earned
right. Yeah,
necessarily
yeah, because
because everybody resented her for it.
I don't remember which episode it was, but now I remember what happened. Yeah, that was when some gladiators tried to do some stuff to
Hmm.
her.
Stuff that we won't elaborate on.
Yeah, and
Anything you didn't like about this episode, Ronan?
like straight up didn't like not
Yeah.
like there was no like oh this sucks, this is bad, this is stupid, but it's more like I wonder how much of this is like because we know what's coming. Like I'm just sitting there like in the
Mm,
bit in Monty Python. Yes, get on with it. That's why we wanted to jump to the pit. But like I can't. There's again. This wasn't. This is like while it's not a good on the gradient scale. Good, great, all bad. And all, we're in the like the not good, but we're not like down here in the shit. We're more kind of. It's just uneventful, even though it's not. It's weird, but no,
okay.
there's no like outstanding thing that sucks or that drives me crazy.
Okay. Steve, your thoughts on Sacramentum Gladiatorum?
Yeah, I wish I had gone back and listened to my thoughts on our first go around because I mean I obviously consistently think of the first three episodes as bad, but I was mostly fine watching it this time. I think
Yeah.
everything up until the final fight between Crixus and Spartacus is at least fine. Like I don't hate this episode, but I think when I think back on my thoughts of this episode, the reason I probably disliked it so much is because of how much the fucking final fight sucks. The final fight with Spartacus and Crixus is goddamn ridiculous, and I remember how the next episode ends too, and I also hate the way that episode turns out. So I think I don't know if I liked episode 3 at all. I think this one is fine. Fine to maybe like close to being good until the final fight. The final fight does a
How
lot to drop my rating of the episode.
how would you have liked to have seen that fight play out?
I, Spartacus or Crixus could have just beat Spartacus. And Spartacus like wins by dumb luck. The fucking ribbon did not need to be a competitor in this fight. And
Yeah.
Spartacus like instead of taking 35 years looking longingly at the ribbon and tying it around his wrist and making sure it's close to him and
It's
really
drama, Steve.
savoring the
It's
moment.
drama.
It's fucking stupid drama in this case. Spartacus has been told, hey, here is a path towards potentially getting your wife back. He should have been in that fight fucking ready to go, ready to kick some ass, but Crixus wins anyway because it's Crixus. And then Spartacus knocks Crixus off just through sheer dumb fucking luck. I hated everything involving the ribbon in this episode.
Does the
Fuck it.
ribbon count as like a Deus Ex Machina kind of like stupid sort of thing?
I don't like the
No.
ribbon. Like I really the ribbon is like obviously it's his connection to his wife, and
Yeah.
we have to play
I'm fine
this
with him
role.
like having a moment to, but like the whole him get somehow this piece of lace being able to pull Crixus's
Yeah.
feet out from under him.
Yeah.
Or just the extended period of time where he's been shown a path towards getting his wife back, and so to really capitalize on this, he spends several minutes looking longingly into the stars and playing with the ribbon, leaving himself open to attack the entire time. Fucking stupid. I don't know why this bothers me so much, but I hate this final fight between Spartacus and Crixus.
It's not
It's
good.
driven
You're
me
not
nuts
wrong for
from
being
the beginning.
upset.
Yeah. Well, leave a comment down below, folks. What do you think about this final fight between Spartacus and Crixus? Do you like it? Do you not like it? I'd be curious to hear. I actually really kind of enjoyed watching this episode, and I think it goes to something that that Ronan said a little bit earlier, but probably not in the way that he was kind of conveying it. The fact that I know kind of where this goes made me kind of like just enjoy watching the introduction of all these characters in this episode. And I know like, and maybe it's because I've seen this episode multiple times now over, rewatches over the years. And I've always had this sort of this vision in my head. It's like, oh, this sucks. This episode is just terrible. Just like the first episode. It's terrible, terrible, terrible. But I was actually just kind of like, I like seeing Vero for the first time. I like seeing like what we didn't get in House of Asher with Achillia sort of having someone right away. Spartacus has a friend right away. Someone who's like, look, I'm not an asshole like all these other people, and we can kind of like help each other out here. It was nice to kind of see that. I love sort of, seeing Barca and, Crixus, of course, is awesome. I'll always love Crixus. But just, on Emmaus, it just feels like there was these characters, there's like, and again, it's probably because I know where the story goes and I know what happens with all these characters and all the great things that they do in the subsequent episodes. But it just felt like there was a gravitas to these characters that we didn't get in House of Asher with all of those kind of characters. And I don't know if it's writing. I don't know if they just cast the right people. Like if we watched House of Asher and Daddy Gladiator was played by Manu Bennett, would we think that Daddy Gladiator was just fucking cool because Manu Bennett just exudes sort of like cool factor, whereas Daddy Gladiator did not? If Kid Gladiator was played by Vero in House of Asher, like if that was that character, would we be like, oh yeah, man, that guy's cool. I like him. I don't know. I just feel like the casting was just so on point that when I saw these characters in this episode, I'm like, I'm not bored at all. I'm enjoying Asher. I see Asher. He's already scheming to fuck over Crixus. I see Batiatus already scheming to fuck over, Glabber and all these people trying to get his, cash in on these debts that he owes and stuff. I just see so much in this episode that I'm like, I like it. I think I like it. I think I've turned around from. I don't think I'm ever say I hate the first three episodes of Spartacus, and I must wait to the pit. Now the pit takes it to another level. Don't get me wrong, takes it to the show to a different level. But I think I kind of like this episode. I don't think I'm ashamed to say it. I like it.
Well then,
I think it's good.
let's do it.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Okay, look at that. See, all three of us
But
we're back on the
no,
track that we like the episode.
I mean, really,
There's
it's
no
a
nuance
here.
to this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it really
you're
should
forcing
be
us to make a
Look!
binary choice.
it really
Look!
should be like about like
Yeah,
that.
it's like this.
That's not how they do it.
And even then, like my thumb should not be nearly as erect. It should kind of be like very.
I don't know. I think this episode's pretty good. I think it's pretty good.
I don't think it's pretty good. I think it's fine. too good
Yeah.
until the end.
I think Steve and I have mostly the same kind of. He's a little bit more forgiving of the episode, and at the same time more harsh on the ending of the episode than I. But I'd say we're both like, I mean, this isn't as bad as the first episode, but this is
Yeah.
also kind
So,
of
of all the
yeah.
characters that are introduced here, like we'll just take episode one out, the main introduction of all of these characters. Who is the character that you guys are like, okay, this was the best introduction of the character that we will follow for the next however many episodes?
Probably Crixus, because like you get like that is a bit like he comes in from that moment he starts like barking in the bathhouse, like you get an instant idea as to exactly who he is, what he's about, you know like Varro's like introduction isn't like so grand or anything, but at the same time we like we spell it, we figure out what he's about to later on, but yeah, in terms of like which character has the best intro, no, it's got to be Naked Manu Bennett.
How about you, Steve? How
Yeah,
about you?
it's Crixus. Like Crixus, every scene that Crixus is in this episode, he steals it. He does it until the end when he loses to a fucking piece of ribbon. Yeah, Crixus is the best. I mean, I will say that I mean Vero's introduction is nothing flashy, but he immediately sets the tone for this is Spartacus's one trusted companion for the majority of season one, or at least the first half of it. So, but I mean, it's hard to argue that Crixus is not at the top of that list.
Yeah,
I think
yeah, absolutely.
Onomaus is pretty good. Like the introduction of Onomaus and just kind of how badass he is throughout this sort of thing. I think he's pretty good as well. But yeah, I got to go Crixus. So leave a comment down below, folks. Who was the best introduction character in this episode? We all thumbs it up. So
It's like here, okay,
Yeah,
it's a thumbs up.
it's
We
here.
very
all went up.
placid,
Check the tape. We all went up. We
very
all went up.
placid. That's that's just kind of more of what it is.
So leave a comment down below, hit that like and subscribe because we'll be back every Friday. I think there's like 36 more weeks of us discussing the rest of Spartacus, the series. So hit that like and subscribe. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back next Friday for more Jupiter's Grok here on the Outpost Unknown YouTube channel. Context clues. Remember, pay attention to context clues.